Can we hear Justin? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. This is bad. It's okay. Celtics win, and I don't know if we can hear Justin. Can we hear? Wait, can anybody hear Justin? Or is it my problem? I don't know what's happening right now. Okay, wait. Justin, go. Wait. Talk. Whoops. Oh yeah, it's you. It's you. No one can hear Justin. Dang. Okay, it took us a minute, but no one can hear Justin. Justin's got to get his mic fixed. But the Celtics beat the Lakers tonight unexpectedly, especially after the first quarter. They beat them tonight 130 to 108 tonight, and yeah, keep it going. Keep moving forward like Meet the Robinsons. Tonight, the Boston Celtics. What can you say about the Boston Celtics? For a minute there, it looked like they were about to be blown out of the water by Anthony Davis, who scored 15, yes, building blocks. This was a major building block to this season. Like, this was by far the biggest win of the season, especially no Rob Williams, no Jaylen Brown, and you got the job done against a team that, quite frankly, early on looked like they were about to blow you out of the water, especially with the Anthony Davis-Grant Williams matchup. And then LeBron James, of course, was out on the floor as well, which adds a whole new dynamic. And I'm live now here by myself. Oh, no, there's Justin. The Boston Celtics. Nope, there we go. He's back.
Oh, we're good. Somehow me getting kicked out of the stream fixed it. Keep going.
Yes. But anyway, the Celtics, this was the biggest win of the season against the, probably the most hated opponent of the Celtics, despite, what people say about the Sixers or, the Heat or the Raptors, whoever. The Lakers are the Celtics' rival, and tonight the Celtics got the job done in the best way possible. This was very reminiscent of that game, 2 years ago in the Garden? I believe it was January 20th, somewhere around there, 2020, where the Celtics just absolutely dominated the Lakers after the first quarter. Yeah. Same thing happened in that game 2 years ago, and I mean, we have a million good things to say. I don't even know where to start tonight. We have a million good things to say about this team tonight because this was by far the biggest win of the season, best win of the season, most satisfying win in probably over a year. I can't say enough about this win tonight, and we'll get to it.
I'll let Ian, you get your word in, but first I just want to say, when I was watching the Celtics get off to such a slow start, yes, I was a little bit concerned because the Celtics actually got off to a horrendous start. But if we remember not last year, the year before that, Celtics, I think, got down 12-2 or something like that. From the tip, it was a JaVale McGee jump ball, and they got a wide open dunk. And then you know what also happened in that game? Enes Kanter letting it fly from long range, and he comes in tonight, dude. I lost it when Dwight Howard walks down the other end and catches that, and he points to Ennis and smiles. I couldn't get enough. What a perfect way to end a Friday night at the Garden.
Oh my God, bro! This was like a sight for sore eyes, man. Like, I mean, what could be better? Jayson Tatum dropping 37. Marcus Smart dropping 22 and looking at like an actual facilitating NBA point guard. Like, I mean, I don't know what we could have done better in this game. I mean, obviously the defense at the start of the fourth quarter wasn't amazing, but I don't really care, man. We just kicked the Lakers' ass in the Garden. Like, I mean, it doesn't. I don't care. I don't care who's playing for the Lakers at the time. I don't care if LeBron's playing or if he's not. But we kicked their ass all over the court tonight.
And something I want to point out, and yes, this is like I had mentioned on the text messages I had to put up to the screen because I was muted. Was the Celtics did this. This is a building block, but this is a huge, ginormous building block because we got to remember 2 of our best players on the team were out tonight. I know we can't really use that as an excuse. I mean, we kind of can, but like there's some cases where we really can't. But tonight, they're unbelievable. The Celtics absolutely dominated in the second half. I also want to put up on the screen right here, Marcus Smart and Josh Richardson combined for 37 points tonight, 14 of 24 from the field combined. Those 2 are the ones who kept the Celtics, because they did fall behind very early, kept the Celtics in this ball game early on.
And they matched Jayson Tatum as well. Jayson Tatum, we sat here before the game and said, I think this might be Tatum's coming out game this year, even though we saw, the 34-point performance against I don't even remember this game. Atlanta. And then that 41-point performance against Charlotte earlier in the year. But tonight, this was the biggest matchup of the year by far so far. And Jayson Tatum absolutely dominated the game. Man. Best player on the floor after the first quarter, of course. I believe he had 15 points in the second quarter. Then from there on out, he ended with 37. Jayson Tatum, he put it all together tonight, especially defensively. That's one of the areas Tatum's been questioned on this whole year. And tonight, stellar defensive performance from him. Super engaged, just super active with his hands and feet, guarding the best player for most of the game. Well, not Anthony Davis, but LeBron. And you know what? But Jayson Tatum, this was the performance that we were all anticipating, and he gave us exactly that and a little bit more.
Oh, man. I just wanted to say, it was so nice to see everyone else do the work. Watching Marcus Smart go to work in that second quarter was incredible. He just could not miss at all. And we've seen that from stretches of him this season where he's gone a couple possessions and he looks really good down the floor. His shots were everything felt like it was falling for him. Dennis Schroeder is impressive again, and I can't say it. I think I absolutely love Josh Richardson on this team. I love having Josh Richardson on this team. He'll have some off games from time to time, but I'm 100% for Josh Richardson on this team. I absolutely love him here.
I want to talk, because we're obviously going to talk about Jayson Tatum later on in the show, but I really want to focus on Marcus Smart. I'm going to let you both answer this. What stuck out to you? What do you think, how do I put this? What do you think stuck out with Marcus Smart's game tonight? What really stuck out tonight?
I think there were 2 things that stuck out with Marcus Smart. And number one, I would say early on, just their ability to use him as a post-up player to create some instant offense, I thought was pretty big early on. And that's really what got the Celtics some light in the first place before they went on their glorious run of 3 straight 30-plus point quarters. It was Marcus Smart who at first was facilitating points. And second thing, Marcus Smart, we say this all the time with him. He's an elite defensive player. Quite frankly, tonight, he had one of his best defensive performances. It seems like he was everywhere tonight. Same thing with Josh Richardson. I'm beginning to love Josh Richardson for just his pure activeness. All of these offseason additions. You look at Horford, Schroeder, Josh Richardson, all of these guys are going away from Smart for a second, including Smart, though. All of these guys are just a breath of fresh air from what we saw last season, because last season was it was so melancholy at times. It was so down at times, and the team just didn't have that much effort. And this year, these guys are really starting to play with a lot of effort and a lot of just assertiveness in general on both ends of the floor. And I love what we saw tonight and what we have been seeing leading up to this point, despite, some of our offensive problems and our defensive mishaps at times. Aside from all that, this team's effort seems to be there as of late.
Oh, yeah. And this 100% started with what Marcus Smart said. I honestly feel like that Jayson Tatum has taken those words to heart. He has looked incredible on both ends of the floor. He is putting in so much effort on the offensive and defensive end of the floor that, he looks incredible. And Marcus Smart, we were hating on him a little bit in the beginning of the year, or at least I personally felt like I was. It was just annoying watching him take all of these shots and him just completely brick them or not even try to do anything else. But the way he's been able to pass, his passing looks unbelievable. And he said he was good at passing. I believe him now. He has looked so good passing the ball. Also, I do want to say something about, how NBC Sports Boston does the post-game interview. So the post-game interview was Dennis Schroeder, and next to his name, it says, "Y'all paying Russ $44 million, lol."
Oh,
we talked about Russ for a second.
They were chirping. They were chirping together tonight as well. Obviously, I wish we could play clips on here, but we found that out the hard way, Rob. But I do want to mention the way the Celtics responded to some adversity tonight was huge. If you remember, the Celtics fell behind very early. It looked like the Lakers were just all dominance. You could really tell the Lakers missed LeBron's absence. Or presence on the court, I should say. Lakers jumped out to a 14-point lead. It was a huge swing. The Celtics ended up winning by 22 points. What stuck out to you? Because the Celtics, between the second quarter and the third quarter, Seamus, went on a 63-44 run.
I mean, what stuck out was just the fact that they really started to play at their own pace. And on the offensive end of the floor, they didn't panic either. They didn't. I would say the Lakers somewhat down the stretch. At one point, it was clear the Lakers were panicking on offense. I know you can't really panic with Anthony Davis and LeBron James. However, they were just looking for quick and easy home run opportunities. And the Celtics easily could have done that early on as they went and dug themselves a little bit of a deficit early. They could have easily done that early on and made this game just a complete slugfest the rest of the way. Yet they pushed their pace and actually played at their own pace, played fast, and they really just converted on offense way more times than they did the other night. Because I thought the other night they gave a pretty good performance in Atlanta. The shots just weren't going down. We weren't getting stops.
Hey,
and that was really the opposite in 3 quarters.
I have Rob on the phone. Rob, what do you got to say about tonight's game?
I mean, what a great win, I mean, it was just great. I mean, I haven't felt the Garden that electric in a long time, and it was great. I mean, I think it was a mix of the Celtics playing good basketball, and this kind of shows how dysfunctional the Lakers kind of are. However, you can't take credit away from Boston. They played one hell of a game. Tatum looked awesome. Schroeder and Horford. I mean, Smart looked great. Richardson off the bench was phenomenal. So that was a big win, especially with Oklahoma up tomorrow night on a back-to-back. Hopefully get Brown and Williams going. Maybe give Horford some rest. I think it was great. Go up back to 500 with some easy games coming up. You got Brooklyn on next Wednesday. I mean, it was a hell of a win.
All right. Any final thoughts, Rob?
I got nothing. Celtics by 40.
All right.
Wow. What are we, Felger and Maz here getting Collins? Rob?
I know. Hey, I mean, we might as well be Felger and Maz. I mean, we're a little more positive, but yeah, let's go.
I love it.
Well,
I love it.
Well, we're rational.
Go ahead.
We're at least rational with our maybe hot takes at some moments, but there's no rationality in Boston sports radio. There's just none.
I love that. I'm taking the graphic off now. Rob's gonna fire me. Before we head on to player spotlight, I do want to mention. Everyone, go take a look at Marcus Smart's box score real quick. 2 3-pointers, 2 3-point attempts tonight. He scored 22 points on 9 of 13 shooting and only 2 3-point attempts. That is something we've asked Marcus Smart for the last 8 years, is to minimize those 3-pointers. But like Seamus says, he wasn't just getting it done offensively. He was everywhere on the defensive end. His intensity just seemed to be there. This was by far the most intensifying game I've seen Marcus Smart. Very vocal tonight on each end, and he was just a competitor tonight. And I think, yes, we're gonna get to Jayson Tatum, double, 37, 11, and 3, but Marcus Smart deserves a lot of credit in this Celtics win tonight against LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and the Los Angeles Lakers, who, yes, they were missing Kendrick Nunn, who's been phenomenal for them off the bench early on in the season. But the Celtics without Jaylen Brown and Rob Will, hey, they didn't show up against Atlanta, but luckily they were able to redeem themselves big time tonight here on national TV as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And another takeaway from this game, too. The physicality the Celtics showed tonight and displayed tonight, off the charts compared to where the Lakers were. Early on, it looked like Anthony Davis was going to have an all-time performance against us. It just appeared that
I know
way
he was
early
going to
on.
drop 50 tonight, it felt like.
You had mentioned that in the group chat as well.
Yeah, and he scored 15 points in the first quarter, and a lot of that came against Grant Williams. And it was very clear and evident that the Celtics had really no one good to throw on Anthony Davis. Even Al Horford, he came up with some huge defensive stops down the stretch. But even early on, it's just really hard to stop a player like Anthony Davis with his handle, his size, his athleticism, his ability to hit jumpers and dominate you at the rim. That being said, he settled for those jumpers way too many times tonight. Anthony Davis did, and that's why he only ended up with 31 points after scoring 15 in the first quarter. He settled for jumpers way too often, didn't take it to the rim enough. And I think if he did, the Celtics could have been in trouble because Al Horford, he came up huge, but it's not like, he was bullying with Anthony Davis down low. It was more, I'm being physical out by the mid-range, by 15 feet, and Anthony Davis, we all know he's going to take the step back. It was becoming very predictable over time from Davis, and the Celtics overall, just the more physical team tonight. I mean, you look at the points in the paint too tonight. 56 to 36 points in the paint. And they have Anthony Davis.
That is unreal. That is unbelievable.
Like, whoa.
And we didn't have Rob Williams either.
And we had Enes Kanter out there for most of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to say
Kanter as a perimeter sniper tonight, though. That's
I know. I mean, damn. I mean, he had as many 3-point shots as Marcus Smart did. As many makes, I meant. As Ben Simmons. Oh man. We're just going at everyone's head tonight.
It's too easy.
It is.
More than
Did we hit on Russ? Russ?
Yes, actually, because I do want to get to the over-unders because Russell Westbrook, we had a over-under for Russell Westbrook, which we'll get to. But Seamus, what did you see from Russell Westbrook tonight? He struggled big time.
It's really it's one of those NFL terms or the Bill Belichick term. Let the other team lose the game before we have to go out and win the game. And Russell Westbrook, perfect. He perfectly fits that definition of letting a team lose a game before you have to go out and win, because Russell Westbrook, turnovers, missed open shots, just erratic play for most of the night. I think I don't know how many fouls he had. It felt like he was fouling like crazy tonight too. Let's look at the box score here and get an official number on the.
He had 5 personal fouls.
He had 5
and a minus 12 as well. He
had 5 fouls tonight too, so he was fouling like crazy on the defensive end of the floor. And Russell Westbrook, he's the triple double king, but these type of performances are ultimately why people have questions about Russell Westbrook and his ability to be a winning player on a winning team contending for an NBA title, because this Lakers team has clear aspirations at a title this year with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. We know how good they are. But Russell Westbrook, crazy athletic player. He does have crazy talent, can be a good playmaker, but at the end of the day, he's just a really, really bad player down the stretch. He's a turnover machine. And like you said tonight, he's really not that great defensively, not a good shooter. I mean, I hate it. I love Russell Westbrook's effort on the floor every single night. He brings effort every single night. However, this type of performance tonight is just why Russell Westbrook ultimately holds the questions. And, probably, if he doesn't win a title this year, I don't really see a title ever coming in his future.
Yeah, and that's what I said to start the game. That was technically my key to the game, was basically just let Russell Westbrook shoot the ball, because he was going to shoot the Lakers out of this game, and it showed. There was a time, I think it was in the third quarter, where he missed like 5 shots in a row, and they were all like wide open threes and wide open layups and stuff, and he just, I mean, he missed all of them, man. And I can use another NFL term from Juju Smith-Schuster. Russ is just Russ. Russ is going to be Russ. I mean, it's just what he is, man. And I hate to say it, because that 2017 MVP season that Russ had is an all-time great season from an individual player. But I mean, it's rough, man. It's rough watching him play all the time. I feel bad for Lakers fans a little bit about having to watch him all the time, man. Like, it must be just, it honestly must be just like maddening to watch, because like he has all of this talent, and he just can't, like, he just can't focus in on one thing to make one thing good. He's always trying to do everything, it feels like, but he's just at that point, he's just not doing anything.
I took him on fantasy strictly because I knew he'd get me a lot of fantasy points because of his triple doubles. But you also have to factor in his turnovers, like how many points that takes away from the fantasy points. But I want to get into over unders, because it was a fairly close over under game tonight between the three of us. Obviously, Rob was at the game. Unfortunately, wasn't involved in this one, but it's okay, because hopefully next time we'll have all 4 of us. But first one, Grant Williams, over under 9.5. That one was actually the official spread over on DraftKings. Seamus told me, I had no clue at all. He actually, I believe he went under. Yeah, he did. He had 5 points tonight. Shot 2 of 4, 1 of 3. So Seamus actually was the only one to get that one correct. So Ian and I took a big X on that one.
I will say Grant was having his own issues with LeBron and Anthony Davis tonight, so I think I'll give him a pass for only scoring 5 points.
He had his
tonight.
Hands full. He for sure had his hands full tonight. And then the second one,
that one in. He didn't say that at all. We're not like, well, he's going up against AD tonight.
I know. I don't know why we didn't.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that. But.
Well, I think at the time, wasn't he a game time decision as well? I don't know.
Technically he was.
Now, second one. Lakers win first quarter. This was by Seamus. Or Celtics lose first quarter in that way. Ian and I took under, meaning the Celtics do lose. Seamus, you took over.
That was the only quarter they lost.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was the only quarter they didn't look very good in, so.
Dang. Yeah.
All right.
We just need to stop this first quarter betting, because every time I don't know about the Celtics. And we're all like, no, Celtic pride.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay.
Like, no, we're winning the first quarter. What are you talking about? We're good.
That's me every single over under, dude.
That's Justin.
Every single over under. I go over every time because I have too much pride. Well, okay. So Westbrook over under 5 turnovers. We all thought he was going to get like 30. He actually only had 2, believe it or not. So
good for him.
We all got good for him.
5 fouls,
I mean,
though.
you gotta do something right.
13 points. Wait, 12 points. 5, 13.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? Guess what though? LeBron James had more turnovers than Russell Westbrook. So
how many?
Russell
did he
Westbrook.
Have?
He had 3.
We had
very nice.
Carmelo Anthony with the most on the Lakers with 5. Nice.
Jeez.
I also have him on fantasy, so nice.
Tough game for you tonight, right. Justin, on fantasy.
Yeah.
Well, you shot 75% from 3 of 4 tonight.
I'm doing pretty good tonight on fantasy. Bobby Portis got me 40, so I picked him up as a free agent. Somebody didn't want him, so. All right, so the last over-under, since it was a rivalry matchup and a big-time game on national TV, we like to do at least 1 or 2 extras. Tonight we just did 1. Tatum over-under 27.5. He actually way over, nearly 40 points, 37 for Jayson Tatum on the night. He was your player spotlight. All 3 of us got that right. So we all finished knotted up at 2. Ian and I had the exact same answers, and Seamus went 1, 1, 2, and 1. So we all finished with 2. So not a bad over-under night. See, it was a very tight over-under night. Russell Westbrook kind of screwed us all and decided not to turn the ball over in high-pressured situations. But it didn't matter because the Boston Celtics got the win, and actually in blowout fashion. Huge second half. They're back in action tomorrow night against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Tip-off at 7:30. I will not be here. I don't know if Rob will be here, but Ian and Seamus will definitely be here. We're going to get them we're going to try to get these guys to figure it out so we can get you guys a stream. What do we expect tomorrow, guys? Second night of a back-to-back. Thunder, obviously kind of a totally different team. Actually, a completely different team. Celtics go from playing one of the oldest teams in the league to now one of the youngest teams and more springy teams in the league.
Yeah, honestly, I'm really excited to watch the Oklahoma City Thunder play. I'm really excited for them because I love Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I don't know why. He's just one of my favorite players to watch. Him, Josh Giddey, he looks really good as a rookie. Lou Dort, his defense, defense is insane. I mean, they have, and can't forget about Poku out there.
Yeah, Poku the GOAT.
Poku the GOAT. But yeah, so I mean, this OKC team is young. I don't think you said their coach wasn't going to be there, right? Because
no.
But yeah, so anyway, but I'm really excited to see this Thunder team play. I feel like they're going to push the pace. They're going to go very fast. It is going to be very different than the game tonight.
Oh, I'm excited. Tomorrow should be so fun. I mean, Jaylen Brown, he might not be back, but he also might be back. They said that there's probably a better chance of him playing tomorrow or against Houston than there was for him to play tonight. So I'm really excited. Also, maybe we even see Robert Williams play, but I don't know. What do you think about Al Horford, Seamus? Second nights of a back-to-back. You think he'll play tomorrow night against his former team?
I would think he probably has to at this point. I mean, the team is really – they're trying to pick up steam. They just got to 8-8. They just put themselves at 500. And this whole time, basically since, January of last year or this year, last season, the Celtics have been hovering around 500, and that they've never been able to get past 5 games above 500 yet. This is a chance right here, this little 4-game homestand, and you're now 1-0 on this homestand. You have the Thunder, the Rockets, and then the Nets coming up for 7 of the next 8 games are on the road. These games are crucial right now to gain chemistry, to gain some momentum in the season, and if Jaylen Brown comes back tomorrow, great. I would like to see Al Horford in the lineup. I bet he plays against his former team. You know, it's a low-stakes game, ultimately, at the end of the day. Not like they're not going to have the momentum and the hype that they had coming into tonight's game against the Lakers. You know, big game on ESPN Friday night. Tomorrow night, lower-stakes game. You know, I expect this game to be relatively over relatively early, but, you know, we can never underestimate teams anymore. This is ultimately a trap game tomorrow. You have the 1-14 Rockets on Monday. You have to win both games and then close out at least solidly against the Nets before you go on the road. And that's really what the Celtics have to do tomorrow is win. Just win.
I think the way the Celtics have been winning as of late has been a lot more electrifying. Obviously, they've been on the road a lot. They haven't really been at home. But like this home win, I mean, yes, the atmosphere is going to be different. You're on ESPN. You're playing the Lakers, an all-time rival, probably one of the greatest rivals in all of sports, let alone basketball. You know, it's going to be energetic, but I think the Boston crowd showed up tremendously tonight. Rob said it was immaculate. It was insane. It was like a playoff game. Dare I say, even just watching on TV, a finals game. I don't know if you guys watched it locally on NBC Sports Boston, but Paul Pierce made a guest appearance on the microphone.
I switched.
And I think it was phenomenal. Like, the Celtics need to have home games like that. And obviously tomorrow, like Seamus said, a lot more lower stakes with a potential lottery team, or right now a playing team with the Oklahoma City Thunder. I still want the TD Garden, especially because I'm going, to have great energy tomorrow. And just the Celtics to play a good team brand of basketball. The Celtics played a solid, I'd say 3.5 quarters of basketball tonight. The second half of the first quarter, in the first half of the first quarter, were 2 completely different halves. I guess, if that makes any sense. I mean, the first 6 minutes were just atrocious for the Celtics. Like I said, fell down by a dozen early on, and they just looked out of sorts. And then get guys like Richardson going. Even Neesmith tomorrow. We might see if the game does get over by halftime, maybe even third quarter. We're gonna have to see a lot of bench guys play up tomorrow, and maybe even hold a lead.
I do want to say something about ESPN's broadcast. Now,
Oh,
I love
man.
Mike Breen. I love Mike Breen and Dorsberg,
Don't
but
get Seamus going. He's gonna throw an hat
oh
on his head.
my God, it felt like watching a Lakers broadcast. It really did. Like, I literally had to switch over after the first quarter because all they were talking about was the Lakers. I just could not stand it. Luckily, I got to see Paul Pierce in the booth, and I'm not going to lie, we have to get Paul Pierce in more games when it comes to NBC Sports Boston. He is so entertaining when it comes to the broadcast booth. It's so funny.
He's like, I already got my bar. I was bar hopping earlier today, and I already got my reservations for the night.
They probably didn't know that either. They're like, wait, he's a little
oh my God,
a little off.
That's why he wears those thick glasses. You can't see his eyes.
I know.
All the time in the sun.
He was working on the farm, bro. That's hilarious.
Man, before we go though, ESPN, what the hell? What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Like, why are you selling your souls to LeBron James and the Lakers? My favorite part of this whole ESPN fiasco with the Lakers, who, the whole game basically complained for fouls at any whistle that happened. But the Lakers and ESPN special relationship, ESPN LA and anti-Boston agenda fits it quite well. But my favorite ESPN segment was when they angled Enes Kanter fighting against the Chinese Communist government, which, in fact, they are running labor camps within their country that we're not publicizing. That is a fact. They angled that to, why is he only criticizing LeBron? Don't give me that. Really? Are you serious right now? Like, Enes Kanter is the toughest motherfucker I've ever seen in my entire life. This man is classified as a terrorist by his own country. And he has warrants. He has warrants to speak out, and ESPN takes that angle on him. Get out of here with this.
Yeah,
I know. I mean,
what's very unfair.
I'm sorry, ESPN. Miss me with that.
I don't want to get political at all, but what I find very unfair is Enes Kanter getting blocked out of these countries where you can't even see him on TV without a black box going over his head. That's just totally disgraceful in a way. But Enes Kanter showing everybody on national TV tonight he has limitless range on a 99 three-point jump shot tonight. And then didn't Dwight Howard come down and splash one from the same spot? I had no clue what I was watching at that point of the game. When I saw Enes, it's like you turn the 2K sliders up and you're letting the center shoot threes. It's something I've never heard of. I've never seen. And I like when Dwight shoots threes because they go nothing but net every single time.
Oh man, we gotta have Kanter and Dwight Howard in the 3-point contest, 100% at All-Star Weekend.
Dude, Kanter can shoot, dude. I'm telling you, Kanter can shoot. Even Rob Will showing he can shoot the shot in practice. I just hope he just don't pull up in the middle of a game.
Bro, I want to see a Celtics practice where like the 3-point contest is Horford, Robert Williams, and Enes Kanter. I feel like that would be an amazing 3-point contest. I think really Horford would watch, but
to that ESPN thing, when Paul Pierce got fired or let go, however you want to, didn't he say that's fine with me because you either had to talk about LeBron James or what was the other thing? LeBron James or Tom Brady, something like that. I forget exactly what it was, but you had to talk about LeBron James. That was the motto. If you didn't talk about LeBron James or research or believe in LeBron James, like it's a religion type thing, then we don't want you working here. So I just find that interesting. Yeah, I find that very interesting. But luckily, I wonder what luckily no LeBron James on Friday's ESPN broadcast.
Well, this is why everyone has to come to our media source. Well, for the Celtics, of course, and not other people out there, because corporate media won't let you talk about shit nowadays. Okay, folks? They don't let you talk about anything. So everybody's opinion on ESPN, Fox News, CNN, whatever the hell you want to, throw out there as a newscast, all those people's opinions are completely based upon the company's opinions. No one has their own opinion. We saw this so often with ESPN in the past. And most recently, with the whole Aaron Rodgers thing, it was all the same. No one had a different opinion whatsoever. I don't want to get into that whatsoever because it's controversial. But come on.
But we're not controversial.
I know.
Talk Weekly,
the only opinion
good.
on the Celtics Talk Weekly is the right opinion. So
we call out people committing genocide on this podcast.
Yeah, the only incorrect political things that happens here is Rob failing on a parlay badly. That's the only type of economic failure we can get in this place is Rob betting on games. But in all seriousness, guys, I just want to go out and say we're doing a ticket giveaway. Rob set this up. Super cool, super fun way to get to an easy free Celtics game. I believe it is against the Detroit Pistons. And if you want, head over to our Instagram page. You just go scroll down. There's a couple posts down. Follow the steps in the bio. What is it? Direct message Rob at RobCTW, and for a chance to enter and win some Celtics tickets. Who wouldn't want to do that? There are images as well of the seat. It's, I believe, 7 rows from behind the basket on the away team on the Detroit Pistons side. So you can yell at Kelly Olynyk, the GOAT, Game 7 Kelly coming back to the TD Garden. Number 1 pick, Cade Cunningham.
Sadiq Bey.
Potential.
Sadiq Bey can even capture a couple of sweet picks of a potential Celtics target, Jeremy Grant. So that'll be a really fun game to go to. It actually would be it'll be a really interesting game to go to. But any final thoughts before we head out? Celtics capture a huge 130-108 blowout win over the Los Angeles Lakers.
I will say, before we talk about the game, those seats are actually really great. That's where me and Justin sat for the preseason games. They were amazing seats. I'm not even going to lie to you. So I would definitely enter that giveaway. The giveaway is on December 1st against the game against the 76ers. So that's when we announce the winner. So, but yeah, so all I got to say, beat LA.
LA beat.
LA beat.
Beat.
Is that your final word, Seamus? Is that your final mic drop?
Well, I'm a little upset I didn't guarantee this win tonight because I honestly forgot about it. I was thinking about it all day. I'm like, I'm going to guarantee this. And then I'm like, I didn't guarantee it on the pregame show, but whatever. 4-2.
Jayson Tatum is better than LeBron.
We'll get a win next time around.
Will we get a guarantee for tomorrow, or are we going to wait till the pregame show? Maybe you'll take all night to think about this one.
I mean, we have to wait for the Hey, Seamus, we got to keep the people waiting for something for this pregame show tomorrow. So
for something.
Hey, this is the first time me and Seamus are going to run the show, so it's going to be a very interesting.
We need something to talk
podcast.
about.
We need something. Hey, we will come up with the best topics to talk about. Maybe we'll shit on ESPN for like 30 minutes and then we'll go watch the Celtics game. But
we should just have our own like separate segment on some other channel where you're just like anti-ESPN, just everything.
Yeah, it's just all of us just shitting on ESPN for a half hour. And
like, dude, they had this segment on Get Up today that was just all about LeBron.
Yeah,
I will say Max Kellerman is actually really good on his own show. I feel like he really deserves on this. He's on the show with like Jay and like someone else, and they keep interrupting him anytime he tries to talk. But I mean, he's still good.
Well, yeah, I would think not being with Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith is just a loud mouth, man. I love Stephen A. and the person he is, but at the end of the day, on TV, his whole occupation is just to sit there and blatantly just yell out narrative talk, and people take it verbatim and form their opinions on it, when in reality I mean, I think he's literally watching those 9-minute highlight tapes and just kind of being like,
How about them Cowboys?
James Harden in the Nets. What is going on here?
Hey, I don't want to call out Seamus here, but we have a couple people in the comment section saying, quote, Seamus, if you guarantee us a win, we will lose.
Hey, Seamus has a winning record. Seamus has a winning record with guarantees right now. So, I mean,
I'm forward
I
to
think
this
he's
year.
he's trying to lead you on to minimize the content for tomorrow.
I have guarantees coming up because we're facing some questionable teams. I mean, the Thunder and the Rockets, we'll see. I'm gonna have to sleep.
We need like a juicy guarantee, like against like the Nets or like the Clippers.
It was supposed
or,
to
like,
be
the
tonight.
Warriors
I totally missed on it. I'm not gonna take credit for it because I didn't guarantee it. It's not on film. But
oh man,
I wasn't, like I said earlier, I'm like, can't bet against the Celtics tonight. So I'll make a guarantee right now.
Wait,
in the future.
Wait.
Hey.
Look.
Well, I'm gonna make a quick guarantee because this one's quick, but we'll come back on it in a couple months when I find out the date of this game.
Hey, Seamus, look up. If you
All right,
want, you can guarantee the Celtics win. That way you can clip it and it'll make it look like it'll be good for the content. Go ahead, do it. Go. Come on, we'll play.
All right.
All right,
let's see.
Ian, get serious, bro. All right, so Seamus, we're gonna reenact. We're gonna play the clip right here. Ready? Start. Action. Seamus, any guarantees before we wrap up the show? We don't have Rob here, so we can't do any parlays. Are there any guarantees?
December 7th, 2021. The Boston Celtics, a couple weeks from now, after Thanksgiving, coming towards Christmas, coming into the home stretch towards Christmas. December 7th at the Staples Center for the last time as the Staples Center before it goes to crypto.com arena. The Boston Celtics will defeat the Los Angeles Lakers on LA's home floor at the Staples Center. Future, they'll be the crypto.com arena. They're beating them on that home floor. They're going to blow them out once again. I'm not going to guarantee the win, but I'll say they'll blow them out. So, Celtics, Lakers. Celtics go 2-0 against the Lakers. December 7th. Mark your calendars. A couple weeks from now. I don't know how many days, but
come on.
Oh, no.
I honestly thought you put the graphic back up so he could guarantee tonight's game.
I did, but he clearly didn't read it, and he guaranteed a blowout win for December 7th.
I didn't see anything. You're like, look up, and I was like,
Seamus, I meant for you to guarantee a win tonight, so you can post it tonight, and the graphic will make it look like it's a pregame.
No.
Come on, man.
This was better. This is better.
All right.
I don't know if it was. But
see, that's ESPN's business. Is when they film things ahead of time, they show it right on time. They're like, "Hey, look at this."
We called it.
Nah.
Okay. When is it? Is it?
I didn't see the graphic.
Oh, Seamus is the Celtics. We hooping.
I have it cut off. I don't know. Yeah.
All right, hold on here. Before we go, 10 o'clock game on TNT. Okay, so it's not a Lakers game on ESPN. Okay, so Celtics and Thunder tomorrow night. We're gonna save the guarantees for tomorrow night. And so join right back here at Celtics pregame live, 7 o'clock p.m. tomorrow. Celtics playing the Thunder on a second night of a back-to-back. Rob Williams, Jaylen Brown, they are questionable. Hopefully we get to see them in action tomorrow. Like I said, Celtics Thunder, come back here, pregame show, 7 o'clock. I'm your host, Justin Lowe. Right there, that's Ian. And right there, that's Seamus. Rob lost a couple parlays tonight, I bet.
Rob definitely bet on the Celtics tonight. I bet you.
100%. He had to.
Well, didn't he bet it on the Celtics Wednesday against the Hawks? And totally. Yeah.
I did. Yeah. I don't think we were supposed to say that. All right, fellas. Take care. Good night. We will see you guys tomorrow for another day of Celtics basketball. Peace out, guys.